It's up to them if they do. Read that for me.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 7.
No, 7 and 11. Come.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 7 and verse 11.
Come.
But they refused to hearken.
They what?
They refused to hearken.
Our people refuse to hearken unto the Most High. And it's the reason why, because we have been beaten down to a dark state. Our people are beaten down. Come on, keep going.
And pulled away the shoulder and stopped their ears that they should not hear.
They did what?
That they should not hear.
Y'all stopped your ears so you shouldn't hear. But y'all was listening just for a moment. But understand, this word ain't going to go out void. Somebody is going to hear the word. Somebody is going to repent. It might not be today, but sooner or later you will repent from the wickedness you have done. We all the men you see standing up here have all committed some wickedness at some time. But we had to repent for that thing and came back to the Most High. Now we can go stand up for our people and teach them the true knowledge and wisdom and understanding according to the scriptures. As soldiers, keep reading.
Yea, they made their hearts as an adamant stone.
They did what?
They made their hearts as an adamant stone.
And that's our people. We like to make our heart as an adamant stone. We are a stiff-necked and hard-headed people. Why is that? We got to start asking ourselves the question, why? You got to start asking yourself, why? At a certain point in time in life. We can't constantly keep doing the same things over and over and over and over. Soon it's going to get repetitive and redundant. Soon something's going to spark in you, especially when somebody close to you die. You're really going to start thinking about what's the meaning of life. What do I have to do, Most High? We cry out to the Most High, but for what? Keep going.
Lest they should hear the law.
Unless they should do what?
Lest they should hear the law.
And that's all we come out here to do, is to show our people the laws, because the church system never showed us the laws. They never showed us how we should operate and how we should move. Keep going.
And the words which the Most High of hosts had set in his spirit by the former prophets.
By the what?
By the former prophets.
Them same former prophets are out again today. We are out here trying to bring this truth out. And guess what they did to the prophets back then? They killed them. They murked them, as the new term is. But we can't keep doing the same things over and over and over. We got to change up. We got to get ourselves right. Let me get that in Isaiah 1 and 3. Because a lot of our people really don't know who they are. Give me Romans 10 and 1. Hold that. Read Romans 10 and 1 first for me, King. You got a mic? No, I got him. You're almost there. So we can understand what's going on. 10 and 1.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 10 and verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to Yahweh for Israel is that they might be saved.
Read that one more time, King.
Brethren, my heart's desire.
My heart's desire is what?
And my prayers to God.
And my prayers to God every night I do go to sleep and wake up is for what?
For Israel.
For who?
For Israel.
No, for everybody.
For Israel.
No, for the white man.
For Israel.
No, the Chinese man.
For Israel.
The prayer is for the children of Israel. Keep going.
Is that they might be saved.
That we might be saved. We're not saved yet. If a white man can come in our neighborhood and shoot us down at any given time and treat us worse than a dead dog, we're not saved. No matter what the Christian church tell you, we are not saved. Keep going.
Verse 2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of God.
I know my people got a zeal of God. It's in our DNA to have that zeal for the Most High power, but what?
But not according to knowledge.
We don't have it according to the knowledge of this Bible. We don't have that knowledge. And why is that? Hold that. Get that for me. 1 and 3.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 1 and verse 3. The ox knoweth his owner.
The what?
The ox knoweth his owner.
The ox know who he belongs to. Keep going.
And the donkey his master's crib.
And the donkey know where he belongs. Our people don't know where they belong. We tell you, I want to represent this block and start throwing up gang signs, the blue flag, the red flag, all this other nonsense, but what?
But Israel.
But who?
But Israel.
But Israel, which you are the children of Israel. Keep going.
Doth not know.
Our people don't know where they belong and who they belong to. They don't know they are the children of Israel. Because when I ask them what's their nationality, I get religion in return. I get a fight. I get these things that they want to combat against, and there's nothing to combat against. I'm here for you. Because at one time, we didn't know that either. Somebody had to show us that. And that was all the power of the Most High. The reason why they showed us that. Keep reading.
My people do not consider.
What?
My people do not consider.
Keep going.
A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity.
Our people doesn't consider, and our people don't know who they are. We got sin in us, and we got to purge this sin out of us. But because of sin, this is what happened to us. Jeremiah 17:4.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy inheritance that I gave.
We discontinue from the heritage the Most High gave us. We got to come back to our heritage. The Passover is coming up. We weren't supposed to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. Don't you know he killed a bunch of so-called Africans? We don't know if that was the children of Israel or not, but more than likely they were, because that's what the white man liked to do. He liked to go around and pillage whole nations, countries. So we're not out here on the love campaign for the world. We're out here on the love campaign for our people. That's who I care about. I care about cleaning up my house first. I don't care about other houses. Is that a... Boy, that looked like a bat for a minute.
That's a pterodactyl.
Keep reading, King.
A sinful nation,
Yep.
a people laden with iniquity,
Uh-huh.
a seed of evildoers.
That's what we became. We became a seed of evildoers. Why? Because we don't want to listen to the words of the Most High. He already brought out Proverbs. Let me, John 3:16. Why don't we break that down real quick? But to get that understanding real quick. Keep going, King.
Children that are corrupters.
And that's what happened. We became corrupters. Why is that though? Oh, let's dig into it. Isaiah 3:12. Let's dig into it real quick.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and verse 12.
Come, hold on. Brother, you was at the other spot a minute ago? Come, all praise to the Most High. You know you Israel? All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. That's what I'm saying. All it takes is one. All it takes is one. All it takes is one, man. That's beautiful right there. And I just happen to turn to see that righteous spirit on you. I can look at this man and say, he trying to be perfect. They tell us we can't be perfect, but the Bible say, be ye therefore perfect. You hear that, big boy? Big King. Big King walking with the two sisters. Oh, you say, Y'all all that man's sisters. Y'all see, we can't treat each other like that. This supposed to be a family affair.
Right. That's right.
Since when did we stop treating each other like family? Who told us not to treat each other like family? Right. That was something the white man instilled into us, and we got to break that. We got to break that up out of us. We are family. Read that for me, King.
The book of Isaiah, chapter
3:12. And I got to talk about my sisters for a minute. It's just for a quick minute, but I'm going to get back on these brothers because we're the ones that supposed to run this nation. Read that for me.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 3 and verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors.
Because we just read in Isaiah 1 and 4, children are corrupt. And guess why? Keep going.
And women rule over them.
What?
And women rule over them.
Why do the women rule over the children that corrupt us and run amok in our community? It's because the man left the household. It's because the scriptures already told us the man is going to leave the household because it's prophecy written. There's many different reasons why that man will leave that household. Sometimes the woman always is running her mouth. And that's the point of it. Sometimes the woman get mad at the man because he want to go out there and sleep with multiple women. And the crazy part is, you can have that man, but you got to make them your wives as well. Yeah, it got quiet real then. It got real quiet then. We ain't going to talk about that, but the scriptures talk about that though. We understand the plague that's plaguing our community and why it's going on. But it all resorts back to, we don't want to keep the commandments of the Most High Power. And that's all we got to do is to correct our community and start keeping these law, statutes, commandments. Keep going in that.
O my people,
they
which lead thee cause thee to err.
They that lead thee cause you to err. Or error. That's your TD snakes. That's your Cleflo take your dollars. That's your Al, I'm going to sharp you and put it in your pocket. All your money. All that different nonsense. These are the people that leads our community. And every pastor that's around on these blocks. A lot of our people go to church. But what are you really learning at church when you get in that church house? What are you learning in that building? But giving you a song and dance and all the Most High told me to tell you, you won't get me now. Now give me $20 and put it in the bucket. That's all you get when you go to church. Right. You ain't getting the truth of these scriptures. They're not sitting there breaking it down on what these scriptures are. Malachi 2:7. What you holding? Hold that for me. Malachi 2:7 real quick. Let's bring it out. Because we got to understand what's really going on in our community. Why you see damn 30 to 50 brothers standing on the block with these strange clothes on with all these lights up and it's nighttime? Shouldn't you be somewhere partying yourself?
Right.
Yeah, we can do that, but guess what? I love my people that much. We might decide to go to brunch tomorrow. That's if we choose so and choose to. But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong as long as you drink in moderation. There's nothing wrong with that. But guess what we're not going to do? We ain't about to roll up that good blunt. Fire that crib. You got some sardines on that? Nah, we ain't about that stuff.
Right.
What we say you got? Get him. Read that for me. No, read that what you pulled.
O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths.
And to do what?
And destroy the way of thy paths.
And that's the thing, though, our path has been destroyed. The so-called, and I'm going to keep bringing it up, because a lot of our people, the reason they don't deal with the Bible, because you think it's a white man's book. But in the schoolhouse, you never told the teacher, that's a white man's book. Don't tell me that. Don't teach me that.
Right.
But we all sat in them classrooms, a good portion of us, and went ahead and got degrees. A high school diploma. You feel me? The hypothesis and the hypotenuse of this and that there equals this. But we ain't say, no, that's a lie.
Right.
We went with it and we rocked with it. Because our mama beat our behind. Not realizing the Most High is beating our behinds right now because we don't want to listen to his book.
Right.
Read that for me. 20, what you said, Karash? 40 and 20. The book of Sirach or Ecclesiasticus chapter 40 verse 20. You got it? Read that for me, King.
This is the book of Sirach chapter 40. This is the book of Sirach chapter 40 and verse 20. Wine and music rejoice the heart.
What?
Wine and music rejoice the heart.
One more time, everybody say that.
Wine and music rejoice the heart.
Wine and music rejoice the heart. But guess what? You got to pick the time and the place to do it in. You also got to drink that wine in moderations. You can't drink, hop in the vehicle, crash and kill someone. That would be a sad thing to do. Read that again. Hold on. And also it depends on what kind of music you listening to. We got to understand, music puts certain spirits on people. So if you're drinking wine, Apple Crown, E&J, which is called Easy Jesus, all that good stuff, you want to get a spirit that way. And then the music you're listening to is also going to give you another spirit. These spirits might conflict with each other. Now you're going through all kinds of emotions, or they might agree. You might hear that croak song talking about punch him in the neck and do all this nonsense, and guess what? We fall for that. You can go to certain clubs and they tell you they ain't going to play certain music because they understand what that music will do to you. They back here playing love music. They telling you as they drinking, they playing that love music, I'm trying to do something tonight. They trying to slow dance with something. But if you slow dancing with something, you got to make sure that's your wife or your husband, because that's another thing that's dominant in our community. We like to knock them down and send them on their way. We can't do that no more. When you understand, hit and run, no more hitting and run. You got to hit and stay. See, that's crazy. Keep going. What else on that?
This is the book of Sirach chapter 40 and verse 20.
Yep.
Wine and music rejoice the heart.
Yep.
But the love of wisdom is above them both.
The what?
The love of wisdom is above them both.
Read it again.
The love of wisdom is above them both.
We must love wisdom above wine and music. Because the wisdom is going to teach you how to control yourself when you are on that wine and music. Otherwise, you're going to slip and fall. And you wonder why she put me on child support. You're going to be wondering that thing. But because you ain't had the wisdom, you ain't loved that more than that wine and that, what it is, wine and music, and you love that woman and the beauty of her, and you done failed and tripped. Now you want to leave the house because she nagging you to do that. Not knowing why. Because you didn't prove that woman first. It happens. Experience. Read that for me.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 33. Be not...
What's up with you? Hold on. Bro, with the hat on. Bro, Adidas shirt. I saw that brother last time we was out here. Keep reading.
Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
Do what?
Evil communications corrupt good manners.
And what else?
Awake to righteousness.
Do what?
Awake to righteousness.
One more time.
Awake to righteousness.
That's why we out here. We out here to tell our people to wake up to righteousness. Everybody saw that movie, Do the Right. Was it Do the Right Thing? No, School Days. At the end of the movie, he told you to wake up. Wake up.